Happy Thursday, everybody. My name's Mike Jimenez, and this is the Acquired Taste. The day is finally here. It is draft day here in San Antonio. Victor Wembanyama will be the number one overall pick tonight. Your San Antonio Spurs taking him early tonight. Super excited about this, and I'm happy to be celebrating with you today. If you're a Spurs fan in San Antonio, the RGV, Austin, wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, this is a glorious day to be a San Antonio Spurs fan. I'm coming at you from Northwest San Antonio. Joe Garcia producing today's show. What's going on, Joe?
Oh, man, nothing, man. I'm excited just like all the other Spurs fans are. I'm excited to be celebrating Wemby Day.
That's right.
It's official today. He's going to become a Spur.
It's official, and we've seen him go up and down New York and be celebrated over there, taking the subway ride. We saw him throughout the first pitch at the Yankees game. We saw him get interviewed by Good Morning America, by all of these big media outlets out there. Jeremy Sohan asking questions at the media availability yesterday. We're going to have Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's Five with us in about 15 minutes or so. He's going to be at tonight's draft. He's been at those press conferences out there in New York, basically being Victor Wembanyama's shadow. So it's going to be a big day where we're talking about the NBA draft, not only Wemby, but what's going down. There's some rumors going around. There's some trades that are happening across the NBA. We need to have a discussion about whether or not the Spurs are going to move back into the first round. Are they going to get rid of a fan favorite? Have we seen the last of Devin Vassell? Have we seen the last of Keldon Johnson? We are live right now on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Twitter. Happy to report we now have 358 followers on YouTube. The migration has started. A lot of our traffic comes from Twitter, right? A lot of it comes from Twitter. Don't get me wrong. But we're slowly migrating people onto YouTube for a variety of reasons. First of all, you get to correspond with us in real time. I get to see your comments on YouTube. I see them after the show on Facebook, after the show on Twitter, but live, I can see them on YouTube. Anthony reached out and saying, it's Wemby Day. Paul Cantu saying, yo! Chris Gonzalez wishing everybody a happy Wemby Day. Matt Lerma saying, oh, happy day, oh, happy day. It's an amazing day here for San Antonio Spurs fans. Again, Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's Five will be with us in about 10 to 15 minutes or so. Now, here's the thing. As excited as I am for this venture, the Acquired Taste Network that we're developing, I am fearful, and I'm saying this in a joking manner, kind of, sort of, not really. I'm kind of fearful that this might be my last show because I may or may not be alive come Monday. Okay, we're not going to have a show tomorrow. Joe has family things to take care of, so no show. This is our last show of the week. But I'm afraid my wife's going to kill me. And I got to tell this story. I mentioned it on Twitter. Joe, I don't know if you saw this.
I saw it. I know where you're going.
Okay, so tonight is the draft, right? We've been waiting this for so long, and I'm a huge Spurs fan. And I was an advocate for Team Tank and the glory that was winning the NBA draft lottery a handful of weeks ago. But here's the thing. My wife and I forgot that we got tickets to go see Madagascar. Remember the kids' movie Madagascar? They're going to have a performance of it at the Tobin Center tonight.
Well, this is live. This is Madagascar live, where everybody gets dressed up. It's a big old show, how to do,
Yes, it's basically a play.
Yeah.
Okay, it's on stage. And we forgot about it. And I had a reminder on my phone, and the reminder went off that, hey, we've got Madagascar tickets.
Oh, my God.
This week. And then I looked at the date, and I was like, oh, my God, it's Thursday. That's draft night. So I looked at my wife, and my wife, Selena, love her like crazy. Babe, if you're watching, I love you. I was like, babe, but that's draft night. That's all I said. I didn't say I wasn't going to go. I just said it's draft night. That's when the Spurs are getting Wemby. And I just left it at that. I've been married to my wife for 11 and a half years. Typically in this scenario is you're going to go. You're going to go. Now, keep in mind, I have no plans for the draft. But the thing about it is that we forgot about this. And it was an alert that came up on our phone. These tickets were purchased for us for Christmas back in December 6 months ago. So this morning I was resigned to the fact that I'm going to go, and I was amping myself up. I was like, you know what? It'll be fine. I'll get out at 8:30, 8:45. By the time I get home, it'll be 9:30. I'll watch the latter part of the draft. It'll be fine. Whatever. We're going to get Wemby number 1. I'm just going to be happy regardless. Well, I'm at work this morning, my financial practice. I'm at work and I'm meeting with a client and my phone's going off and it's my wife. And I didn't think anything of it. And I just sent it to voicemail. And she gives me a call back, or I give her a call back rather. And I was like, hey, what's up, babe? And she goes, don't worry about tonight. You don't have to go. And knowing my wife, this is something that she never would say, would never do. You can go. Well, first of all, I have nowhere to go. I have no plans for the draft, right? We were joking earlier this week that I would just simply be watching it at home. And she's like, no, I'm going to take my mom instead. So now I'm trying to gauge her voice. And I'm like, okay. And she goes, well, I got to get back to work. And she hangs up. So I text her. I'm like, babe, are you okay? And she goes, yes, it's fine.
Oh, it's
my
a trap.
God. So you hear fine, right? So I put on the GIF from Star Wars. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. I go on and I give her a call and I'm like, hey, babe, are you okay? Do you have time to talk? And I'm gauging the sound of her voice. And she goes, what's up? And I said, tonight, I can go tonight. I said, don't worry. She goes, no, my mom's going to go. And I said, are you okay with this? And she goes, yeah, I don't mind. And I went back and forth with her for 5 or 6 minutes asking, are you sure it's okay? I have no problem going. And she goes, Michael, if my mom didn't want to go and she was so excited when I told her that we're going, her mom is excited. So therefore she goes, it's going to be a great night. My mom's excited about going and we're going to take the kids and it's going to be fine. Just go do what you do. At this point, but she goes, but if my mom said she couldn't make it, your happy ass was going to go regardless. But because my mom wants to go, you're fine. So now I kind of feel like I'm walking on eggshells. At this point, I got off my client meeting and I started washing the dishes. I swept the floor. I mopped this morning. And what's so funny is that people are reaching out to me on Twitter going, Jimenez, just grow a pair. Be the man of the house. Dude, it's the year 2023, dude.
Come on, man.
Come on. It's happy wife, happy life. The whole happy spouse, happy house is complete BS. If you want to be happily married, you kind of take care of your wife, dude. That's just simply it.
You got to consult the boss. That's the boss.
Well, I don't want to say it's the boss because that's
she runs the house. That's usually how I say. The wife helps run the house and keep things together. We kind of just are accessories and we help out where we can.
She's the president. I'm the CEO. I handle all financial matters.
Like that.
I handle all financial matters. Fred Villarreal reaching out to us on YouTube saying, time to get her flowers before she lowers the boom.
Hey, man, what if she changes the locks? What if she changes the code to get in the front door?
Before she lowers the boom? As you can tell, I'm still not 100% yet, but when I saw that, I started laughing. And whenever I laugh, I tend to get a cough now. PJ reaching out saying, it's definitely a trap. LOL, Jimenez, watch your back. Jason Garcia says, this is the last show we will see Mike alive. Chris Leha, well, it was nice knowing you, Jimenez. Fantastic. Anthony asking me to buy tickets for another show and surprise her. That's the thing about my wife. My wife is not somebody who likes to be surprised. And in fact, the fact that she's going to the Tobin Center means that she has to get dressed up. And my wife is the most casual person in the entire world. She likes wearing sundresses and jeans. Getting dressed up. We had our wedding anniversary earlier in February, right? And we had a gift card to Bohannon Steakhouse. A gift card for $150. That's a good night right there, right? At Bohannon's. That'll pay for most of 2 people's meals.
Yeah.
I had to beg her to go because she's like, I don't want to get dressed up. So for her to go to tonight's thing at the Tobin, I know the only thing that she's going to be upset about more than anything else is going to be getting dressed.
These comments, dude. I mean,
bring the dogs inside. Dude, they're animals. They'll be all right. They'll be all right. No, I do feel bad, though. I have been bringing them in, not because of the rain. If it rains, dude, it's rain. The dogs will be fine.
It's not like it's hailing or something.
Right.
They act like you left the dogs out when the hailstorm.
One time I did accidentally, okay? But if it's 105, 106, they're staying inside.
Yeah, it's hot.
I bring them in about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and they don't go back outside until about 9:00 at night. So I am, and it's not because of people on Twitter giving me crap for the last few months. It's simply because that's what I do. I'm actually a pretty good dog owner. So Anthony reaches out and asks the question, so where are we meeting up? And that is the thing. That is the thing. Where are we going to meet up? Because my boy, another friend of mine, Anthony, just called me on the way over here, and he was like, Jimenez, if you're not going to go to the Tobin tonight, then where are we watching this? So now I have no plans. Now, I could go to the Rue Pub, which is where I typically watch things.
Yeah.
San Antonio Sports Star, my former employer, is having an event over there. I could do that. I wouldn't feel out of place because I know a lot of people there. That would be okay. But then again, that's kind of a drive. And I live over here off of Petrenko and 1604. So maybe, just maybe, I want to get someplace a little bit more centralized. My boy who's going with me lives on the northwest side as well. So I don't know. Give me some recommendations.
Maybe you want to get Budo, man. You go to Ojos Locos or something.
Oh, dude. I prefer to have my appendix in place, dude. I don't want to get stabbed.
You can always go to the Twin Peaks around here. We got
Twin
Hooters.
Peaks is fine.
Bombshells.
And I've never been to Bombshells. Now, Ojos Locos, I'll be honest with you, I've had a good time at Ojos Locos. I'm even looking forward to going to the Ojos Locos Casino.
Oh, yeah.
That is over in Vegas. I want to check that out. But it is a great day here in San Antonio as we celebrate NBA Draft Day. Jeff Garcia will join us in a few minutes. And let me know, Joe, when he is ready to go. But again, tonight, my wife is giving me the pass to go out, to go hang out and watch the NBA Draft, which, by the way, is what I was planning on doing to begin with up until 24 hours ago when I finally figured out, because my phone alerted me that we have tickets to the Tobin tonight to go see Madagascar. But my mother-in-law is taking that bullet for me. My mother-in-law is going with my wife. They're going to have a mother-daughter, granddaughter moment. So I guess my wife is okay. She says that I'm fine. Chris Leha reached out and said, Ojos is where you go to fight. I don't want to say that much about it. Man, I enjoy myself over there, but it is a different vibe compared to the other restaurants. There was a place over by Ingram Park Mall. I don't know if it's still around.
Oh, that sports bar that was out there where the Mayan was, the theater.
Yeah. Well, no. It was because it was called something Cantina. It was 210 Cantina.
Yeah, the 210 Cantina.
Okay, there it is. Okay, yeah.
It's in that parking lot. It was in that parking lot with the Mayans.
Yeah, I actually liked that place back in the day. It was a little hood, but I really liked that place.
Hey, man, that place was brutal. I remember I went in there one time, and I had somebody offering me shots in the bathroom, dude, as I'm trying to wash my hands.
Really?
The guy's like, come on, let's do some shots. I'm like, bro, no, I'm good, man.
I think that I need to go and have a Boodle moment today. Is someplace in the central part of town. We're going to have Jeff Garcia on in a moment. Let me know when he's ready to go. But the thing about it,
Jeff is on standby right
okay.
now.
Well,
all we got to do is I told him, look, Jeff, we're going to pitch to you. And I got to say, Jeff isn't sounding 100 today. I think whatever you had, you gave it to him.
Yes, I gave it to him over the phone. And that's the thing, because if Jeff Garcia was here, he'd be like, let's go to 1919.
Oh, you got to get dressed up for that,
Oh,
man.
my goodness. So tonight, I'm going to be in a Spurs t-shirt, more than likely just wearing shorts. Not this shirt, but I'll be wearing a different Spurs shirt with some shorts, my Lucky running shoes, and, my what's it called? What are they called? They're not Air Jordans. They're the Nike Airs or whatever they got.
Yeah, you're just a Nike casual running shoe.
That's exactly it, man. So I'll be kicking with that tonight, and I wouldn't mind hanging out with some of the listeners.
Yeah, you can't be wearing jeans like you did yesterday. You can get the swamp ass, man.
Dude.
Walking up those stairs.
Walking up and down those stairs at University Hospital, trying to go find my car in the parking lot. That's what
you
I get
lost
for donating
weight
blood.
Going up those stairs.
That is true. It was all water weight. Let's go to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs. By the way, Jeff Garcia provides daily Spurs content on the Locked On Spurs podcast. Follow him at Jeff G Spurs Zone on Twitter. I follow him on Spotify. You can follow him on other podcast formats. Jeff Garcia, how you feeling today, my man?
Man, I am suffering right now. I have one of the nastiest colds you can think of, and of all weeks to get sick, it would be this week. But I went to NBA Draft Media yesterday. I'm going to the draft tonight, so I'm just going to suck it up and walk it off, man. That's all I can do.
Now, I want to make sure that you were not anywhere near Victor Wembanyama. I know you were in the same room, but people have reached out to me and they're like, dude, he better not have gotten within 10 feet from this dude simply because you're sick.
I was 3 rows away from him yesterday.
Probably too close. Too close
that was
still.
still too close?
Yeah.
Did you wear a mask at least, Jeff?
No, because at that time, I was already tanked up with medicine. So I was on cloud 9.
Hey, did you see my boy Taro over there?
No, I didn't see him.
Man, he got an exclusive with Wemby, dude. He's doing his thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Talking to Jeff.
No. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Talking to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs podcast. He's going to be at the stadium tonight. So the Barclays, right, where they're going to have the NBA draft tonight.
In Barclays. Hopefully it'll be short and sweet so I can just come back and rest up.
I don't think so, dude.
I don't think that's going to happen.
It's going to be a long night for you. The Spurs right now picking, obviously, at number 1 overall. The Spurs also have the 3rd pick in the 2nd round at number 33. Also have pick number 44. There's already some movement in the draft. Adrian Wojnarowski reported about 10 minutes ago that the Lakers traded the number 47 pick in the draft to the Indiana Pacers in exchange for number 40. Lakers are sending the Pacers some cash as part of the trade. Yesterday, there was a 3-team trade involving the Boston Celtics, Washington Wizards, and Memphis Grizzlies. The Celtics got Kristaps Porzingis. Grizzlies got Marcus Smart. Wizards got Tyus Jones. And the Celtics also got the number 25 pick in tonight's draft. And one last thing before we go to Jeff Garcia and talking about this. Shams Charania of The Athletic tweeted about an hour ago that the Charlotte Hornets are still confused as to what they're going to do with the number 2 pick in the draft after Wemby goes number 1. The whole idea has been it's going to be Brandon Miller out of Alabama, right? Because they don't need a point guard. But Shams is saying on The Athletic that as of right now, it is a coin flip, and it might be the momentum going towards them going after Scoot Henderson and just saying, hey, let's just get the best player on the board.
I think that's what you do. You just go with the best player available, man. If it's Brandon, then it's Brandon. If it's Scoot, it's Scoot. Look, I get to see Scoot Henderson up close and personal yesterday. Are you sure he's a teenager? Because this guy's like built like He-Man. Big, burly, strong-looking guy. So, look, I think if you're Charlotte, it's win-win. You go with Scoot, great. You go with Brandon, great. You know, you really can't lose here in this situation. But it's weird. Remember how leading up to the draft months ago, it was like, oh, the draft really starts after number 3. It feels like now it starts after number 1 now. Like, what happened?
Yeah, and it's going to be so much fun tonight to see what's going to be going on with all the movement, because with this draft being so talented, there's got to be movement. There's going to be a player that somebody covets, and there's going to be movement on the way up and down. I'm taking a look at CBS Sports when it has their pro comparisons right now. Victor Wembanyama at number 1 is compared to Kevin Durant's wiggle with Rudy Gobert's shot blocking. That's how they compare him. You mentioned Scoot Henderson at number 2. They're calling him Colin Sexton's competitiveness with Russell Westbrook's athleticism and CP3's head. You know, so somebody who can do all sorts of things. Brandon Miller compared to Jabari Smith Jr., Amen Thompson, called a more athletic version of DeJounte Murray. Found that to be very interesting. But there's a lot going on with this draft tonight. If you had to place a bet, oh, by the way, before I say place a bet, I am pissed at you right now, Jeff Garcia.
Why? What happened?
Because I texted you last night that I wanted you to place a bet for me.
I forgot.
Because if the Spurs start making moves tonight, that's 6.5 to 1 odds. By the way, can
we still do that? Is it too late?
It's not too late. Let's put a couple $100 on there. DraftKings, you are in New York. It's legal to place that bet in New York.
I've been sick, man. I probably crashed out after that text I got from you.
6.5 to 1 odds. So I say let's put $100 down.
Okay.
Spurs win 40 or more, not even 500, 40 or more. You get 6.5 times your money. So
we'll go with that.
$100, you cash out $750. Dude, book it.
Okay.
Book it.
I'll do
I will Venmo you money. And if you're listening, Greg Abbott, or anybody who hates the fact that people like to gamble in the state of Texas, bite me. It's my money. I do what I want to
Better
do.
not say that. He'll pull up here to the front yard.
Didn't they pass it already? That it's going to be legal soon?
They
didn't.
It got killed in the Senate by Dan Patrick, the
Yeah.
lieutenant governor.
They don't
So
like
maybe
that
it wasn't
guy.
Greg Abbott. Maybe my ire is towards, and this is not a political show, but this is sports betting. And the fact of the matter is that more than 2/3 of the Texas House, a bipartisan bill of Democrats and Republicans coming together saying that sports betting should be allowed in the state of Texas, and it got killed in the Senate simply because why? Dan Patrick says, well, we can't pass any laws where there's more Democrats liking it than Republicans. Dude, it's that holier than thou BS.
I think
when
they had
comes
it on
to
the
gambling.
same ballot as making weed legal here in Texas.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
see, but this would have to go to the voters. So that this
Yeah.
is what pisses me off. Okay, this is not a pro-Democrat, pro-Republican stance here. The fact of the matter is that the vote would not have made it a law. What would have happened was it would have gone to the voters, and the voters would have to override a a constitutional amendment in the state constitution to allow sports betting, right? And they did not trust the voters enough to make it happen. Middle finger to you for not allowing the voters to decide. Because if 70% of the House wanted it and it was bipartisan, and you're going to just say, we're not going to let the people decide. Screw you. Okay. We're live right now on Twitter. We're live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. Lots of comments coming in. Daniel Castro reaching out saying, Jeff, don't get Wemby sick.
you know, we get blamed if like day one he's out.
Oh, I know, because you sneezed. I know you did. You had to have sneezed.
I did not. I came to that event yesterday, Draft Media Day, prepare. I think I texted you or I called you or something. I said, like, I was fighting through it. I was taking Dayquil every other hour on the hour while I was there. And again, I was a third row, Joe.
You know what? I got something to say here, man. You know what?
What's that?
I would say that Jeff got sick because Mike probably would have left you in the backyard in the rain like he did the dogs.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. By the way, but you know what? There's nothing worse than getting sick in the summer. For some reason,
tell me about it.
The summer illnesses are sponsored by the band The Cranberries because all they do is just linger, and it just stays around for 8, 9, 10 days. I'm 9 days in. I'm still coughing.
And what gets me is that I finally started to transition into doing the videos for Lockdown Spurs.
Yeah.
Like I was just getting my feet wet, just trying to like navigate the platform. It's not the content, it's just the production on the fly. And what happens? Green got sick.
Yeah.
So now everybody's like, what happened to the videos? And now it's like, what, bad timing, just horrific timing.
Jeff is not going to do a video when he's not looking his best and he's all fly with the blazer and everything.
I'm not gonna do a video when I've got boogers coming down my freaking nose. I ain't gonna do that.
He is pretty fly. Chris Lehal reaching out on YouTube saying Jeff is a baller. Drop $1,000 on the Spurs getting 40. Come on, you drop $1,000.
Money bags.
You profit $6,500. I mean, that's not bad. I'm just telling you. Now, we did. I was the guest this morning on Locked On Spurs.
Yeah, it's gonna. By the way, it's gonna be debuting in 30 minutes.
There you go. And I was. I'll let you know, since there was no video, I didn't get dressed up. I'm there in t-shirt and boxers doing Locked On Spurs, but it just is what it is. But
I got a tweet yesterday.
Yeah.
I guess somebody heard yesterday's Locked On Spurs, and if you heard yesterday's, it was obvious. I'm out of it. I barely can breathe. So somebody tweets at me.
I can't breathe.
Hey, Kens. Hey, Locked On Network. This guy's been sick for a month now. Give him a break. I mean, I've been so sick, so bad. I mean,
damn, for a month.
No, dude, Jeff. Daily content is what we ask of you. Again, Locked On
Spurs. You're getting it today. Did you see the one today? What Keyshawn Johnson had to say?
What's that?
It's an interesting topic, though.
No, what did he say?
So, on his now soon-to-be dead show, that Jay Will and Max Kellerman show in the morning.
Mm-hmm. What's it called?
He says he says that he's anticipating that Victor Wembanyama will be turning in his Spurs jersey for a Lakers jersey because that's what all a great NBA big men do. And he pointed to Kareem leaving Milwaukee to join the Lakers, Anthony Davis leaving the Pelicans to join the Lakers, and then Shaquille O'Neal leaving the Magic to join the Lakers. So I started thinking, man, could that really happen? Can you imagine?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly
Victor
what David
Wembanyama, who said yesterday on media draft day that, he likes New York. He told everybody, he said, I like New York.
Yeah.
I like the subway. I like going to Times Square.
The
By
thing
the
I'll
way,
say
New York
is that,
City right now in Times Square has a big sign out for him, like a flashing sign in Times Square saying, welcome, or something like Victor Wembanyama, his name, and he's going up for a dunk or something like that. So is New York low-key trying to recruit this guy already?
I mean, first of all, it's a spectacle that's happening in New York anyway, right? I mean, that's where the draft is taking place. So I don't think much of it. And as far as the Keyshawn Johnson, he said that the day of the lottery as well.
The lottery, yeah.
Fact of the matter is that David Robinson didn't go to LA or New York. Tim Duncan
but there was a moment where go ahead, sorry.
Well, Orlando could have taken Tim Duncan, but he didn't go, right? Hakeem Olajuwon didn't do it. It's not like every great big man is going over there. I don't see Nikola Jokic going to LA or New York. I don't see Giannis. Yeah. And the other issue is that this is an international player, and international players don't give two craps about it. They want to win. And I like international players better than American players as of right now. Talking to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. Want to say a big shout out to our new sponsor, Cynthia J. Sanchez from J. Parr Realty. She is my personal realtor. She's been in the business for 16 years. She's an industry leader. She does very well for herself in real estate, but it's everywhere from, those houses that are 100, 150, 200,000, all the way to $1 million homes. She does everything from that wide range there. She's very professional. She knows what she's doing. She has a background as someone who would do, what is that called? Claims work for homeowners, right? She would go out there. So when she's looking at homes for you, she's taking a look at the home from a different perspective. Not how I can sell this home to you, but whether or not it's going to crap out on you. She's looking at things differently because not only is she a realtor, but has many years experience as a claims adjuster. It's a very unique combination. Cynthia J. Sanchez is my personal realtor, and it's not because she's a sponsor. It's because she really got me my home 5 years ago. Again, her number is 210-273-0748. The number is on the screen there, 210-273-0748. You are family when you go with her, and believe it or not, she works so well on referrals because people like what she does. Cynthia J. Sanchez, J. Parr Real Estate, 210-273-0748. Talking to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. It is Wemby Day. I don't want to hear about Keyshawn Johnson anymore. Bite me, Keyshawn Johnson, because this is our day, right? We're going to have Wemby first. We're going to have Wemby first. We're also going to be able to offer him potentially the super max that no other team can. So I don't want to hear about any other teams coming after him or any other this, that, and the other. That is the fantasy land that they're in, because guess what? That's all they can actually hold on right now for the next 5 or 6 years. That's all you can get. That's all you got. That's all you got. Why are you crying? Why are you crying, LA? Why are you crying, New York? That's what you are. And Houston, bite me, Houston. Why are you crying?
Houston won't stop right now.
Houston's hating hard.
Are hating hard.
Yeah.
Exactly. They're every single day calling Wemby out and making fun of the murals about Wemby in San Antonio. It is left and right. They just won't stop.
You know what? That is like when you start dating the hottest girl in school, or you get the hottest wife, and then people just give you crap about it. And it's like, you know what? You're just jealous.
Yeah.
LA is jealous of San Antonio right now. If they had a choice between having LeBron James right now and Anthony Davis, dude, the Lakers would give up 5 of their players for Victor Wembanyama, and the Spurs would tell them no.
Oh, for sure.
The Lakers right now have no draft capital. None. Okay, nothing of significance anyway. And the Spurs are sitting there, and if the Spurs play their cards right and give this guy what he wants and give him the teammates that he wants, then he's not going to leave. And Jeff, I was on Locked On Spurs with you this morning. As you mentioned, it's going to be uploaded into the universe in the next half hour or so.
Next half hour. Yep.
Can I mention something that I said on there that made you gasp?
Go for it.
Okay, because when I said it to you this morning, I got you, and you kind of gasped a little bit. I said something to the effect of, we are all under the impression that Greg Popovich can be head coach for as long as he wants, and because of the 5 titles, he reserves the right to walk out the door whenever he feels like it. And that has been the prevailing wisdom for so long. And what did I tell you? I said, I just came to the conclusion that that is no longer the case, because if Wemby doesn't want him, Pop no longer has a job. And Pop has never had that type of pressure on him.
And it leads me to what everybody's been talking about is this will be San Antonio Spurs' first time ever dealing with a mega star, like a mega star.
Mm-hmm.
You know, David Robinson, military guy, fell in line, walked the line, company man. Tim Duncan, Popovich, father-son relationship. So if they want to keep that going, Pop's going to have to really, really, really start on Wemby's good side, like now, like yesterday, or with the lottery night. Because, I mean, look, I don't think that'll happen because of Parker and Diao and all that French connection, and they're friends. Everybody loves Pop. So I don't think that will happen. But it's beyond that. It's just, can you imagine if, he's going to be, is it safe to say it's his team already right now? Right now, it's Wemby's team.
It is. Okay. It is Wemby's team. Whatever Wemby wants, he gets, because we're not dealing with a Tim Duncan. We're not dealing with a David Robinson. We're dealing with somebody who is going to come in and be a superstar from day one and is going to want to call the shots. That is the personality he has. And I found it to be so interesting when he was mentioning that he wants his teammate Bilal, who's supposed to be a lottery pick also, and he's saying, I would love to be playing with Bilal. To me, I take that as an order.
And not only did
try
he
to
say
make
that
so.
What was the rumor? The Spurs are actively looking for Bilal.
Yes. And why is that? Is it because the scouts are doing such a great job? Is it because R.C. Buford and Brian Wright and Greg Popovich like Bilal? No. It's because they have to bend over backwards to take care of Victor Wembanyama. This is something that Spurs fans have criticized LeBron James for so long, but we now have our version of that. And I'm excited for it because it's about time that the Spurs got into the 21st century. The Spurs way is going to get blown up. It is now over. The Spurs way is done. And it's so exciting. It's so exciting to see that they're going to actually have to play ball with the media, that they're going to actually have to be open and have their players allowed to do certain things.
Right.
The iron fist is gone. It got broken apart.
And Wemby made it very clear yesterday that he wants to be the greatest, even in media and press conferences.
Yeah.
So they want him out there.
I look at this. We have a comment. We have a comment from Chris. He says, Jeff, he took the Jimenez bourbon route and was good during the presser. Need a little Buffalo Trace in him.
Dude.
You know what? I didn't think about that. That's a great idea.
Oh, my God. I'm just picturing Jeff over at the Barclays at 0.08, slurring his words, asking questions.
He's partaking too much of the libations over there.
I've been to Barclays many times. I know exactly where those those bar spots are along the edges.
Man, just get a Starbucks coffee, Jeff. Get some coffee, and you know how you do it. You know, just put a little bit of something in the coffee. You know.
Well. I usually get Red Bulls. I love Red Bulls. So could you like put a little vodka in it?
So the idea tonight that the Spurs are going to move back up into the draft, I find it to be fascinating because it depends on where they would want to go. And there are a lot of different charts out there about what it would take to move up into the draft. And the Spurs have a pretty high second round draft pick, the third pick in the second round at number 33. Spurs also have a mid-range second round draft pick at number 44. If the Spurs were to package those two, according to these charts of what the value of a draft pick is, it would typically be enough to move up to number 25 or 26. Okay. But the thing is that is on a normal draft. And if this is as talented of a draft as a lot of people expect it to be, then it's not as big of a value anymore to package the 33 and 44.
But our teams willing to work with the Spurs now? Like right now, probably teams looking at the Spurs like, how much left can you get?
Well, I think that the teams that would want to do business with the Spurs would more than likely be an Eastern Conference team. You know, I doubt if the Spurs call the Mavericks for number 10 that they're going to want to do business with an in-state rival, a division rival, a Western Conference rival. But you look at teams like Orlando that have picks number 6 and 11. You look at teams like Indiana. Those might be teams willing to do business. And can the Spurs get the guy that they want? Can they get the guy that Victor Wembanyama wants? That's the big deal. We have people reaching out to us right now saying, Joshua Jimenez saying, oh, yeah, first time the Spurs have had a megastar. They will have to change ways they have done things for so long. Sam Salinas says, disagree with the assessment that where's that one at? Disagree with the assessment that the only thing you're forgetting is Wemby is well aware of the Spurs way and he may want to be part of it. No.
No, he bucked that. He bucked that at the press conference.
Yeah.
First of all, he said he's embracing the spotlight. Tim Duncan never did that. Robinson basically did, but he was quiet about it. With him being in movies and music videos and the sneakers ads. But he's saying, I want to be out there. I'm okay being front and center. And he said something very interesting, Jimenez. He says, nobody's going to tell me that I cannot dribble the ball from half court on, dribble the ball up to the 3 and take a 3. This is stop me from doing that. That's not the Spurs way.
Yeah. You know what? Let's go ahead and play that Sarah McLachlan song, In the Arms of an Angel, because I'm calling it right now. June 22nd, 2023, the Spurs way died. It died. Because this guy says he wants to be a superstar. You cannot be a superstar in the Spurs way because the Spurs will not allow that typically. But as one of our listeners said, it's a megastar. This is not a star player. This is a mega star.
Right. And here's the thing too. It's not just local media that's going to want to chat with him. It's going to be national media bugging the Spurs each and every day. Every day. And, you know, they had it lucky. Timmy just shot it down. Maybe Manu did, and maybe Parker did to a degree. But nevertheless, he's going to be like, no, bring it all on. So how's that going to happen? You know, how's that going to change?
Agreed. Jeff, you'll get a kick out of this. Memo reaches out to us and says, as a Greater Houston native Spurs fan, I'm loving seeing all these Rocket fans cry about the draft.
Yeah, but they're still crying. That's the odd. Like, I wish you gotta let it go. They won't let it go.
Let's take a look at the mock draft for tonight because ESPN released its final mock draft, and I will say this about mocks. Typically, they kind of go about halfway right, halfway wrong. There's going to be a player that falls. There's going to be a player that goes up. Many years ago, about a decade ago, the Spurs identified a player from San Diego State named Kawhi Leonard and orchestrated a trade with Indiana before the draft even started and said, if our guy is there, we'll send you George Hill. And they didn't say it was for Kawhi. And in fact, Kawhi, in most of the mock drafts that particular year, was supposed to go between numbers 4 and 6 and dropped all the way down to the mid-teens. So there is going to be a player that drops. It happens in every draft. We saw that in the NFL draft when it came to Will Levis, the quarterback, right? Was supposed to be a first rounder, dropped all the way down, right? So ESPN has Victor Wembanyama going number 1 overall. At number 2, they have Brandon Miller going to the Charlotte Hornets, small forward from Alabama. But again, Sham Sharani of The Athletic reporting in the past hour or so saying that Charlotte's having a change of heart right now and is having meetings today asking the question, are we really going to go with Brandon Miller or are we going to go with Scoot Henderson? Charlotte is in a very interesting position there. But if they go Brandon Miller, ESPN believes that Portland would go for Scoot Henderson of the G League Ignite. At that point, the Rockets would then go after Amen Thompson of Overtime Elite. I will say this, though. If Scoot Henderson goes 2, I think that Brandon Miller goes 4 to the Rockets. And then Rocket fans would have reason to celebrate because Brandon Miller is a stud. Osar Thompson, Amen's twin brother, according to ESPN, should go number 5 to Detroit. Number 6, Anthony Black out of Arkansas. Jarris Walker of Houston going to the Pacers at 7. Cam Whitmore, who I really like, by the way, of Villanova, going to the Wizards, according to ESPN. Taylor Hendricks, the UCF power forward / center, going to the Jazz. They believe that the Dallas Mavericks would take Derek Lively II, the center out of Duke. But they do say that they believe that Dallas is going to try to trade down. My guy, Grady Dick of Kansas, projected to go number 11 to the Orlando Magic. So that is that number there, that sweet spot that I'm thinking of there, Jeff. That if the Spurs can pull a trade for the Orlando Magic's pick at number 11, give up 2 first-rounders, maybe 3 first-rounders, or 2 first-rounders and the number 33 pick to move up to number 11 to get a player like Bilal, who is the Metropolitans 92 teammate of Victor Wembanyama, because according to ESPN, they believe that if Bilal's there at number 12, Sam Presti, our guy over at the Oklahoma City Thunder, would go for him at 12.
Oh, yes. And think about this, too. You're Presti, and if you can even use that as a chip to kind of lure Wemby away from the Spurs if his contract is up.
Exactly.
You can use that as a lure, as a bait. Like, come play with your guy over here in OKC.
Now, ESPN's mock draft, and I've seen a lot of mock drafts saying that the Spurs in the second round, number 33, might go after Colby Jones, a small forward out of Xavier. I saw several mock drafts that are doing the 2-round mock draft saying Colby Jones. There's something in the water there. So I would not be surprised if that happens. And then at number 44, ESPN is projecting that a player like Julian Strother, a small forward out of Gonzaga, could go there. But that'd be interesting if the Spurs took 2 small forwards. Maybe that means that Keldon might be available via trade. But I believe, Jeff,
yes, sir,
that the Spurs are going to do something tonight. And it's not going to be a Houston Texans type of thing where they pick numbers 2 and 3. They're going to do something tonight. I can feel it.
Is it simply just because of Wemby? Because last year, everybody thought the Spurs were going to do something with their last 2 picks in the first round. They didn't. They kept them.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect storm of things. And I'm glad that you mentioned last year's draft. It's because the Spurs last year had 3 first-rounders who turned into Jeremy Sohan, Blake Wesley, and Malachi Branham. And the belief was you can't have so many first-rounders going at one time. But if you're going to have 3 last year, and you're going to have 3 next year and 3 in 2025, because right now the Spurs have their own next year.
Right.
They've got Toronto's top 6 protected. They've got Charlotte's top 14 protected. So chances are the Spurs are going to get at least 2 of those, right? If not all 3. And then you take a look at the fact that the Spurs already have locked in 3 of them. The Spurs own. They've got Atlanta's as part of the DeJounte Murray trade, and they've got Chicago's as part of the DeMar DeRozan trade. The Spurs can't mathematically, salary cap wise, be drafting multiple first rounders year after year after year. And because the Spurs picked 3 last year, and because the Spurs have 6 potentially over the course of the next 2 years, they've got to package them and do something and actually reduce the number of first rounders they have. And the way that you do that is by packaging them to move up into this draft. I think the Spurs are going to be picking somewhere around 10 or 11.
Hey, we have a question for Jeff.
Yeah.
Christopher Leja's watching us on YouTube, and he says, why would Bilal want to move to SA? What is there to do in OKC? Come on, Jeff.
What there is to do in the OKC is to play with your boy, Wembanyama. That's
right.
Yeah, and that's a big draw. Hey, you know what, Jimenez? I heard you earlier saying about what you're going to do tonight for the draft.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised that you're not going to do a live Acquire Taste show about this. I mean, what better way to build it up more?
You know, we've talked about that a little bit. And maybe we'll do a reaction type of thing. You know, we'll talk about that after the show. But
we'll get a little couple of drinks in us. We'll do a live reaction.
There you go.
Drinking some bourbon.
There you go. You know, fire it up. You know, and I'll be drunk at some bar. You know, and I'll be like, they traded up. Fire up the computer.
You'll be slurring your words. They fired it up. Vamos.
That's the great thing about having a podcast, right? There's no rules, you know. It's just is what it is. I want to cuss, I want to cuss. If I want to drink, I want to drink. It just
we've done that quite a bit already. We've almost gone through the bottle, should I say, Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, you know.
So I asked this question yesterday to Jimenez, and I'm going to ask your audience today right now, Jimenez. Buy or sell the Spurs make a move tonight? What do you think your audience will say?
The audience?
Yeah, the audience. Like, I'm hoping the audience, well, Joe, if you could hear that question, if anybody's back to it. Yeah. Like, buy or sell audience.
Oh, man. I'd like to say, in the past, I would say I'm selling. I have no faith that the Spurs are going to do something, but there just seems to be a different vibe going into this draft that something's up.
Ever since Brian Wright came on board, he's been
something's up, man. There's something in the air. I got to agree with Jimenez. And you know what? If the Spurs get aggressive and they want to go ahead and move up to, and let's say making the top 10 pick or even getting in the top 12, I'm not against it. It just, they have to go ahead and really have already honed in on what they want and what player it is that they're really going after. And really, at the end of the day, what are they willing to give up to get that? And unfortunately for Spurs fans, I think they're going to have to come to the realization of, if the Spurs decide to move up, you might have to say goodbye to some familiar faces.
And that's the thing. I'm taking a look at the ringer.com right now. They have a pretty good pro comparison of who certain players remind them of. We've been talking about Bilal, who is Wemby's teammate out there in France over at Metropolitans 92. He is compared to OG Anunoby. And that's a player that the Spurs have targeted for many years. And that was part of the whole thing about the trade of Kawhi. They wanted OG, but instead got Jakob instead. So it's kind of interesting. His positives, according to the Ringer, is on-ball defense, off-ball defense, interior scoring, and elite athleticism. Seeing other players out there, again, Victor Wembanyama described as a Gen Z Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with shades of things like Kevin Durant, with shades of things like Kevin Garnett.
Do you think that Wembanyama is also in the mode of Ralph Sampson pre-injury?
No, not at all.
No?
Not at all. And that's a great point, though, because Ralph Sampson also came into the league at 7'3", 7'4". Ralph Sampson is somebody who he wasn't a bust. I mean, this was somebody who was an all-star. He got hurt a lot. Yeah. And I liked the question out there that Wemby answered yesterday when they were asking about him bulking up, and he goes, "Well, why? Why do I need to bulk up?" And that has been my opinion of it the entire time. It's not the 1990s. There's not a Shaq out there. They're not asking him to bang bodies down low. They're asking him to be a scorer and do weak side defense. This is not Akeem Olajuwon or even a David Robinson as far as what they're going to be asking for him to do, bang bodies with Karl Malone and banging bodies with players like that. It's a different game. I would much rather see him be light on his feet as opposed to bulk up like Giannis did.
Yeah.
But some of these players out here that are very interesting tonight. And if the Spurs come out of it, if it's not Bilal, what if the Spurs come out with a shooter? What if they come out with a Grady Dick? What if they come out with a Cason Wallace? That's a guy that I've liked as well, from Kentucky, combo guard, somebody who can make some threes. He's considered to be a hybrid of Jrue Holiday and Derek White. I don't mind that. And that's the thing about Derek White, by the way. The Spurs, got rid of Derek White, and Derek White is good on a good team, but he's not necessarily what you need on a struggling team. The Spurs could use a Derek White type of player now. They couldn't use him 2 or 3 years ago. But right now, we do need a guy that's kind of like that. And then we also have to talk about the development of things like Blake Wesley, players like Blake Wesley, Malachi Branham. What if they come back and they're better than advertised, or they're better than what we thought that they were going to be? The Spurs right now are in an interesting position. And you mentioned the name of Brian Wright, Jeff.
Yeah.
I called him the hologram simply because we don't know what he looks like, right? I mean, there are just as many photos of Jeff Garcia out there than they are as compared to our GM, right?
Yeah.
But the guy is willing to trade. I mean, all the trades that they've done over the course of the last 3 or 4 years, getting rid of, getting picks for Thad Young, for Derek White, for DeJounte Murray, for Jakob Poeltl, for DeMar DeRozan, and it was just flipping pick and flipping pick and flipping pick. Dude, it's asking the question, do I think the Spurs are going to move up in this draft? I would go on to say it's kind of in Brian Wright's nature to do so.
I would agree, yeah, and that's what changes everything. It's not R.C. Buford anymore, who just like stand pat. And what was remember that expression? We're running it back. We're running it back. Running it back. That was like the big thing with Spurs fans. Oh, we're running it back with R.C. Buford. Brian Wright showing that he's going to let go of some of these guys. And kudos to him, because you look at his track record before coming to San Antonio, it wasn't that great.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit, it was not stellar at all. So, I guess you learn you take your lumps along the way, like any profession, and you learn, and it's coming to fruition in San Antonio. So kudos to him. But it's interesting though tonight, because we know who the first pick is. We get it, Wemby and everything. So I would warn Spurs fans, don't turn off the TV when it's done.
Right.
Leave it on. Just put it in the background, listen to any type of the chime of a trade is going down, anything like that. Because dare I say, Jimenez, if the Spurs make that extra move tonight and bring in another young but strong, promising player, this rebuild turns into hyperdrive.
It does.
Maybe they don't need an extra season. Maybe they just need a half a season, and then after the All-Star break, we're running with this.
By the way, here's some names that I want you to hear to keep in mind for those of you listening. Some names that might be available at 33 if the Spurs don't move back up. Sidi Sissoko, who's a guard out of France. Ringer describes him as a Jeff Green type of player. Dariq Whitehead, who I'm a big fan of, out of Duke, might be available in the 30s. Gigi Jackson. Gigi Jackson's the youngest player out there. He's 18 years old. He played for South Carolina, and he is somebody who should have been playing in high school last year. Gigi Jackson wet the bed at the combine, and before the combine was projected to be a top 17, 18 player, somewhere maybe late lottery. And he is falling on all the draft boards, and a lot of them believe that he's going to be available in the second round. Gigi Jackson, South Carolina freshman, a 6'8" power forward who can actually make threes, but he wet the bed, man. He showed up out of shape. He does not have the motor, if you will. I mean, the motor runs well, but as far as the stamina, it's not there. But if the Spurs got Gigi Jackson somewhere in the second round, I'll be doing cartwheels down the street, because this is a guy with coaching and with mentorship, could be somebody special, not this year or next year, but 3 or 4 years down the road. Let's go over some of the people who are reaching out to us on YouTube. Again, thank you for watching us on Twitter and on Facebook. But on YouTube, if you subscribe, you can actually send us a comment that we could read in real time. Let's go ahead and see some of these real fast. Fred reaches out and says the Spurs way will be challenged this year only if Wemby plays like a Rookie of the Year status and can handle an NBA starting job. Otherwise, Spurs camp and Wemby camp will meet somewhere in the middle. Disagree. This is Wemby's team. Sam Salinas reaches out and says if we're talking about too many first-round picks, then package them to move up tonight, but keep the Atlanta 2025 pick. Now, that is a great comment there, Sam, because it's looking more and more like Atlanta's falling apart. And that is an unprotected first-round draft pick. You may want to hold on to that one. Send them the Chicago pick at that point. Another question. Chris Lehar asks the question, does Adam Silver veto any trade that makes the Spurs even better? Oh, wait. He has no balls. Let's go get crazy. The only trade that I remember being vetoed was that Chris Paul one back in the day. I remember that one was kind of vetoed. Others are saying, "Hey, we'll buy the first round if Joe and I go party with them tonight." That one, Charlie Hernandez saying he'll buy the first round. Does that mean I have to buy the second round? Because at that point, it's just we're just evening things up. But Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs, don't forget to follow him on Twitter. It's Jeff G Spurs Zone, right? That's your Twitter handle?
Yeah, that's the Twitter. Yeah, but when I left News for San Antonio to Ken's 5, I had to change it. So that's why it says Ken's 5. But apparently, you can't change your handle. You can only change the name that goes on top of your handle. I don't get it.
I think you can change your handle, Jeff, but you're only allowed to do it like once or twice.
Yeah, I think it's once every 30 days.
Yeah, something like that. Hey, we do got a good comment here from Christopher Leja. He says, we'll get drunk and send Jeff the bill. I like his style.
I like it too.
Hey, take it easy now. Take it easy. Hey, by the way, in 2 minutes, Jimenez's Locked On Spurs dropped. In 2 minutes.
Nice. And it was a fun conversation. We kind of went off a little bit on this, and we were talking, about
that was the best segment for me when you and I had a discussion about the Spurs way. Is it dead?
Look at that. Chris Gonzalez sent us a comment right now. He says, Mike and Joe, go hang out with Taylor and his gig tonight.
Yeah, he was mentioning Mike Taylor was on the show here a couple of days ago. Was talking about how he's having an event tonight. I don't know where it's going to be.
Yeah, we'll look it up on his social media.
But would it be weird? Am I invited? I mean, I know we got along.
Yeah,
it was a good show. But
you're part of Thunderdome.
But would it be weird?
Don't make it weird, Mike. Just
show up, man. Just buy a couple of rounds.
Have drinks, man.
Yeah, you're making it weird. I want to see the first ever drunk Jimenez acquired taste show after the draft.
Oh God, man.
Okay. People accused me of being drunk that one time I posted after the UTSA football game, and I was going off on head coach Jeff Traylor, who I love, by the way. I love Jeff Traylor.
Don't lie, you had a couple of drinks in you?
Well, I mean, hours before. I mean, when I tailgate hard. But I looked like I was frazzled because I what movie was it when they asked the question? Oh, it was a School of Rock. When they said, do you know what it means when I say I'm hungover? It means that you're drunk. No, that means I was drunk hours ago. So I wasn't drunk at that point. I was just simply hungover. There is a difference.
You're coming out of it.
But Jeff Garcia has seen a drunk Jimenez, though.
Oh, I've seen it. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun, Jimenez. Jimenez gets fun drunk.
I want to see a drunk Jeff, man.
Oh, you've probably seen it, Joe, but didn't realize it. That's what a lot of my friends tell me.
Yeah.
That nobody can tell when I'm drunk.
Well, you were there for my birthday. Was it about a year ago? And we were drinking here with all the other Garcias. You were part of the Garcia clan because I had all my cousins here. Jeff fit right in. He didn't want to go.
I didn't want to go. Yeah, I remember I had to go to a different party afterwards. But no. With me, you will never know when I'm drunk unless I tell you I'm drunk.
Ah, okay.
And everybody will be like, "Wait, you're drunk?"
It's just going to be like, I might be drunk, and there will be signs.
No, that's the thing. There are no signs. You just don't know. I guess maybe the biggest sign is I do the Irish thing. That's the biggest sign.
The biggest sign is you're going to start crying. That's what all Mexicanos do when they start drinking.
Oh, no. We tell each other that we love them.
Oh, yeah. I love you, bro. I love you. I do.
Come on. I've seen Jimenez do the I love you drunk. I've seen it once.
Yeah. I drape my arm around Pledger.
I love you. I do.
James Pledger from San Antonio Spurs was my boy.
I love you, Pledger. I love you.
He does the same thing too, man. It's a love amongst friends, and a lot of people have reached out to us on Twitter over the past few days where I talk about like it's okay to do that. It's okay to say that you love your friends. It's okay to do that. It's okay to hope for the best for your friends. Like this whole thing about society, about like, oh, I'm an alpha. That's not an alpha attitude. Or like when I was talking about the fact that my wife, we had tickets to the Tobin tonight to go see Madagascar, and people were like, just have some balls and just tell her you're not going. Dude, that whole quote unquote alpha mentality just screams, I don't get laid. That's what that screams. Whenever I hear someone say, that they're alpha, they're telling me that they're not getting laid. That's all I get out of it. That's all I get out of it. Because
so Jimenez, you play the long game.
How do you say that?
Well, because if you like, for example, you go with your wife tonight or something, then maybe you might get a nice treat later on in the evening.
Oh, there you go.
Versus, I ain't going. Then she goes, okay, well, bye. Then you're in the doghouse.
Now she bailed me out.
You don't get the treats later.
She bailed me out. You know, she asked her mom if her mom wanted to go. Her mom apparently got excited about it, and she goes, "You're off the hook. You can go do what you want to do tonight."
But you see, don't you discovered a loophole. Now all I gotta say is like, hey, do you think your mom will want to go to this too? You say that like for future events.
Hey, one of my friends is inviting us to a tailgate here. Jason Garcia says, Mike and Joe, prove you tailgate hard at SAFC tailgate. You too, Jeff.
I have tailgated over there with Jason before, but I didn't tailgate hard. I tailgated moderately.
You weren't drunk before the match.
I had about 3 beers over there.
Hombre.
Well, see, that's the thing about drinking beer, and Jeff Garcia knows this. Like, I like beer. I love beer, okay? Yeah. But 3 is my limit. Like, I see people who say, man, I knocked down a case today. And I'm there going, how the hell did you do that?
Yeah, how'd you do that? Yeah, I can't do that.
Like, physically, it'll make me sick. It's like tacos, right? 2 is too little, but 3 is too many. I need 2.5. 2.5 beers, I'm a happy guy, and then I'll go drink bourbon the rest of the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I've seen you down the bottle.
Oh no, I drink. I drink with the best of them.
Yeah.
But I will say this about my drinking, and I know about this. Bourbon, I'm an I love you drunk. Tequila, I'm a happy drunk. Vodka, I'm looking for a fight.
Oh man, yeah,
Vodka's
I gotta stay away
that
from
one.
vodka. That's when the demon comes out. I got to stay away from the vodka.
Yeah.
Hey, but they're showing here that Chris Leja says, if Mike gets put in the doghouse, does that mean he goes outside and the dogs come in? Hey, man, if Mike gets kicked out of the house tonight, he's got a place to stay. He can always come over here to the studio. He knows I got a fridge full of whiskey and bourbon.
There you go.
We'll be good, man. We'll be good.
My wife has a girls' trip this weekend anyway, so I'll be home alone anyway. So
hey, man, have you over on the weekend. We might finish another bottle. I got Angel's Envy on the menu.
That's what I'm talking about there. That's what I'm talking about.
That's Mike right there.
But we have a lot of people who have reached out to us today. There was a comment earlier from Golf Club of Texas. Where's that one at?
I think that one
was way up there because we probably have about 60, 70 comments right now. And that's not including what we have on Facebook. You know what? Let's see if we have anything on Facebook that is
I'm sure we do
worth discussing. Let's see here. Because again, we can only see the comments from YouTube in real time on the screen. Everything else that's coming in that is on Twitter and whatnot is different.
Yeah, they don't allow you to connect nowadays. It's weird. I don't know why Facebook and Twitter gotta be like that. It's Elon. Elon doesn't want to play nice.
Yeah, James reaches out to us on Facebook, says, can't wait for tonight. It's going to be an epic, unforgettable evening for San Antonio. Let's go ahead and click over to Twitter real fast and see if anyone is sending us some love and wants to chime in on what we've got going on. We have Hayes reaches out and says, go watch the draft at Speedway Sports Bar on Marbach.
I don't know, man. I think that might be a little sketch.
Ooh, yeah. Go to the south side. Go to a Brewster's, which is a very good spot, by the way.
That's, you know what? That might not be a bad idea, but people reach out to me on Twitter, DM me. Let me know where you're going to be. I might stop by. My boy Anthony is going to be with me tonight, so we'll be hanging out, doing all that. But Golf Club of Texas, I noticed that earlier, but I was
I'm looking for him, man.
You're scrolling through all of our responses over here. Was saying, hey, great show. I love the Golf Club of Texas, man. It's a great place to go play golf. I'm not the greatest golfer in the world, but I know this. I have a fun time every time that I'm there. They've always been good to me over there.
What's your handicap?
I play like I'm handicapped. No, I suck out there. If I was to go play a true round of golf, I would probably post a score probably around, I'm doing the math in my head. I'll probably post like a 120, 125.
Keeping
right
it
around there. No, that is not respectable at
for
all.
You.
You know, yeah. Do you shoot? I shoot a 70 in the front nine. What's that?
Formal spot?
What's that?
Didn't you win a golf tournament at your formal spot at the Star?
Well, we had a tournament over there at the at Sports Star.
I thought you won that.
We did win, and actually, my putting came in handy because I'm a pretty decent putter. I have a pretty okay short game, but my drives suck, man.
There it is.
Golf Club of Texas saying, love the show. Very nice.
Ooh,
Very nice.
Maybe they can become an official sponsor.
That would be fun. That would be fun. You know, again, Cynthia J. Sanchez is our official sponsor right now. One of our official sponsors. Again, her number is 210-273-0748. If you're looking to buy a home, looking to sell a home, looking to get an investment property, looking to get an Airbnb type of place and rent those bad boys out, Cynthia J. Sanchez, 210-273-0748. And again, Locked On Spurs podcast with Jeff Garcia. I follow on Spotify. Follow him on Twitter as well. Jeff?
Yes, sir.
Any last words for tonight? What are you looking forward to tonight? And what can we expect when it comes to your coverage tonight?
1, getting better in the next 3 hours. 2, tanking up on medicine. I think I'm going to be doing that a lot tonight. And yeah, there will be a Locked On Spurs tomorrow, but it'll probably be delayed because if you've never been to an NBA draft, like as media, it is one of those insane, wild free-for-alls you'll ever experience. So, you know, the thing, I would like to leave after the first pick, but I know that something's going to happen.
Right.
So, how it works for those who've never been media at an NBA draft. So it's the usual, you know. So Wemby gets his cap, he shakes a hand, he walks, and then players like you'll see Wemby tonight go through a gauntlet. So they'll have to go through a gauntlet of fans shaking hands and high five. Then they do like these little stops along the way that people don't get to see on TV. So there'll be a radio stop first. Then he'll go to the social media section. And that's where you'll see like the NBA.com or NBA, whatever, Instagram, put pictures of them and everything. And that's where they do it on the floor. Then he'll go up the stairs and do what you all see on TV, which on NBA TV, ESPN, whatever, those one-on-one interviews after the draft. Then from there, he goes down into the bowels of Barclays, and then he has to wait his turn. Well, in this case, he's first, so he doesn't wait his turn. He'll go up there first and basically do a media session. Then after that, they take the players through the tunnels, and then they have this closed-off area from the media, but you can watch where they just think of like a bunch of little cubby holes, and it's going to be radio this, radio that, like Radio Row, Jimenez. It's basically Radio Row for every single outlet that's covering them. Then they go to to the second floor where they have a meal, and it's a dinner. There, people usually media can crash into if you're sneaky enough and you try to get them. That's where I will be tonight, trying to crash that. Dinner
in the bowels of the Barclays Center.
You have no idea, and that's just the tip of the iceberg of what these draft picks go through after their selection is made. So you figure it's going to probably be rushed because he's supposed to be in San Antonio tomorrow for a press conference, I believe. And then Saturday is like the Welcome to San Antonio event from the fans, I believe, which is going to be the AT&T Center. So I'm expecting him to be very, very quick after the selection is made.
You know, San Antonio is going to roll out the mariachis, right? We're just compelled to do it.
They did that for Tim Duncan, remember? They did.
Yeah. And we're going to have mariachi this and mariachi that out there. It's going to be like, welcome to San Antonio, baby. Let's introduce you to some. Like I
put him in the heat so fast. I mean, Jesus, it's been hot out there.
Yeah, he's gonna walk out there and be like, it's gonna be 106 degrees, and we're gonna have to introduce Wemby to Babaracoa and Big Red. You know, carne guisada, what that is. You know,
bean and cheese. Wiener and egg. You know,
wiener and egg.
Yeah,
the hood's coming out of you, my man. The hood's coming out of you,
man. You ain't lived till you had a wiener and egg taco,
dude.
Bro.
I had to tell you what happened the other day. I went to this Mexican restaurant, and I ordered. I just wanted breakfast, right? I just wanted breakfast, and I should have ordered 2 like papas con huevo tacos, right? I should have ordered that, but instead I got the papas con huevo plate, right?
Oh, okay.
No, okay, because I wanted it with like a little bit of beans and a little bit of like the hash browns they had there. Lady shows up and brings me both like the green salsa, which is what I typically eat.
Yeah.
And then she brought over a bottle of ketchup. And I was like, what am I? 8 years old?
A bottle of ketchup.
Potato and egg with tortillas and ketchup. What am I, 8? So there I am with the green salsa on half of it, and then I looked at the other half, and I was like, okay, I'll be 8 years old.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed in myself. I met in the middle. Half of it was true Mexicano. The other half of it was 8-year-old boy.
Boy,
Give me the crayons. Can I have an extra one? I went out the line to drinking the bear. I need a new one because I went outside the line.
I went outside the lines. I broke one of the 4 crayons.
no,
I
man.
broke the crayons. I'll take a new one.
Oh my good. But that is Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. Follow his content again on Locked On Spurs. And again, tonight he'll be, I'm sure, live tweeting everything that's going on at the draft at the Barclays.
If I can just tell your listeners, again, there will be a Locked On Spurs tomorrow, but it probably won't be posted till later in the day because, I'm taking a half day of work off tomorrow to recoup from being sick and the event. So any Locked On Spurs will probably be late afternoon.
And if Wemby comes to San Antonio tomorrow sick, we know who to blame.
Yeah.
That is Jeff.
On that note, it wasn't me, everybody. It wasn't me. Can you imagine? Oh, my goodness.
Getting the flu from you would be amazing. But that is Jeff Garcia. Thanks for being with us today.
Yeah,
appreciate all you do for us. You're a good boy. You're a good buddy of mine. You're one of my boys. And when you're back in town, I'll be a lovey-dovey drunk, man. I love you, man.
I love you, Jeff.
I love you, Jeff.
Talk to y'all later.
All
Later,
right.
Jeff.
So he will have a Locked On Spurs tomorrow, but we will not have a show tomorrow. So the Acquired Taste is taking the day off. Joe Garcia is on his way to Lubbock because he's got to pick up his son from Texas Tech.
Yeah, I got to pick my boy up from Texas Tech. He was over there all week. He was, full disclosure, doing an art program that they have over there, give him the whole college experience and whatnot. And since all these kids are all artists and they're all doing art of some fashion and they're dabbling in different mediums, they're all going to show what they've been working on all week. So they're going to have this art show. We go and pick them up around 2:30. At that time, that's when they have the art show. Kids get to show the parents everything they've worked on. I get to look at the campus and be like, hey, do you want to come here?
Yep.
Because higher education is important, especially for us Latinos and, minorities in general. So I'm hoping that he really enjoyed himself and continues with the higher education, even if it's not at Texas Tech, but somewhere else.
Oh, well, dude, if he likes country girls with boots, he'll be fine. They're all over the place.
So Jimenez gives you his seal of approval.
Yes. I graduated from UTSA, but I went to Texas State for 5 semesters. I will tell you this much. Those are days I'll never forget, man. Days I'll never forget. But tonight, again, the NBA draft. I'll probably post something tonight on Twitter. I don't know if we'll do anything with this or if we're going to do a special live break-in on anything. But we'll figure it out. Maybe we will. But thank you for everyone who's out there, who's listening, who's out there supporting us as well on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter. But again, if you haven't subscribed to us on YouTube, please do so. It really, really helps us out. Tell me again, reach out to me, DM me. Where are you going to be watching the draft tonight? I have nowhere to watch it. My boy Anthony and I are going to be out and about around town tonight, so we'll figure it out. But this has been great. We'll be back on Monday, most definitely, if my wife doesn't kill me over the weekend. Happy Wemby Day, everybody. Everybody celebrate. Everybody be safe out there. Uber and Lyft are your friends. Be safe out there. Enjoy tonight. It's going to be a great night for the San Antonio Spurs. We're getting Wemby, and we're getting even more potentially. We got that 33 pick and 44 pick as well as of right now. So everyone have a safe time out there. Enjoy the day. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. My name's Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia. Thank you, Jeff Garcia, for being on. This is The Acquired Taste.